Hey everybody, Ryan Medora here, and I am back with another blues-based lesson for you. Today we are going to continue a discussion about slow blues. So you may have seen another video at this channel about playing what I call like a double note slow blues, where we maybe played something like this. We kind of took this like slow blues pattern, playing double notes, and we kind of primarily stayed in this part of the neck, living around like the 8th fret, the C on the 8th fret of the E string. And today what we're going to do is we're going to play to essentially the same concept, the same theme, where we're playing a 12-bar blues in the key of C using this kind of like double note rhythm. But we're going to take advantage of the very lowest portion of the neck and focusing on using open strings. Now this is something that a lot of people seem to like either be very excited about or very much terrified by. But I promise you there's nothing to worry about when it comes to open strings. We just kind of have to perceive them as the notes that they are on the neck, and you know, there you go. Get used to it. And if you want to get tab, notation, backing tracks, all that stuff, head over to ryanmedora.com and grab that 12-bar blues survival pack. It's going to have tons of information about how to play different slow blues feels, other shuffles, rumba blues, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, again, backing tracks and all that great thing. So yeah, head over there, pick it up. You can also support my Patreon page or my TrueFire channel if you dig the content that you're getting here. And without further ado, it's time for this bass lesson. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be playing a slow blues in the key of C, following a standard 12-bar form. So anytime you're playing a slow blues, whether it's kind of like How Blue Can You Get, or Have You Ever Loved a Woman, anything like that, you'll kind of be in this ballpark. But we're rhythmically going to be kind of playing boom, boo, boom, boo, boom, boo, boom, kind of matching a kick drum pattern. And we are going to be focused on using our open strings. Now, when we do that, we kind of have to start to perceive our standard pattern, but, you know, account for the notes that we can get as opens. So, for instance, if we're playing a C here, and we're playing root 3rd 5th, or C, E, G, we could find those same notes here. So if you play a C major scale, you're probably very familiar with that. But when we play C, E, G, we realize that, okay, C is our root note, E is our 3rd, and G is our 5th. Now, we don't always have to play our triad in this fashion. In fact, we have a low E and a lower G that we could take advantage of. If we do that, we're going to kind of flip the direction of our arpeggio. With our C here, we're going to use, ooh yeah, that sounds really nice, our open E string, to give us that really nice low note on our 4-string bass, which is going to be the 3rd of our chord. And then we can grab the 5th, the G, right there on the 3rd fret as well. So instead of playing our pattern like that, 1, 3, 5, we're going to do that. We're going to take advantage of that low E string. The other thing is when we play this kind of slow blues pattern, it's very common to add the 6th, root 3rd, 5th, 6th, or if we add that double note rhythm, where maybe we kind of go 1, 3, 5, 6, 5, or we just play 1, 3, 5, 6. Either way is totally cool. But if we want to find the way to play this with those open strings, we have our root, our lower E is our 3rd, our G is our 5th, and then our 6th is A, and we have an open A string. So again, instead of playing our pattern with these notes where they're all fretted, we can kind of like flip that arpeggio shape a little bit, go root, lower 3rd, 5th, and 6th, and take advantage of those opens. And that's pretty cool. I think it's awesome. It's really nice to be able to play that way, have those nice open strings ring out. And then as we play through our 12-bar form, we're going to take this and move it to our 4 chord. Now when we do that in this key of C, we are going to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, and F. Good news for us is we have this F here, we have this F here, so if we were playing this, you know, maybe we would just move that pattern over one string. Here's our C shape, here's our F shape. In this situation, we have our C, our F is here, but I just ran out of strings, so I might not play it like that. We got to go down to our low F. Here's our C shape. Here's our F shape. Now when we go down to that low F, we have open strings at our disposal as well. We have our fretted F on the first fret of our E string. Then our third of the chord, remember for building our triad, 1, 3, that's going to be an open A. So we're going to go F, A, C now is our fifth of the F chord, and then we can also use our open D string, which is the sixth scale degree in relation to F. So we have root, third, fifth, sixth, that shape in relation to our F chord, again taking advantage of open strings, open A, open D. So it's pretty cool that we get to take advantage of this, you know, starting to see these shapes on the fretboard. If you were to think about it too, like let's say you use your second finger to play the F right here on the first fret, you would almost want to use your first fret to play a fretted note, you know, root, third, but you don't have to fret anything. You just got your open string there. So again, that's like a great place to take advantage of these open notes. We have our C shape, our F shape, and we come back to C. Now, one thing I will mention is that when you go down to the F, you know, conventional wisdom is that, you know, we might use our second finger if we were to play like root, a third, fifth octave. But I personally like to use my first finger and then my pinky, you know, which is a little bit different from our regular 4-fret span, but because we're playing at the very base of the neck, we're playing the lowest notes, the frets are larger there. I think that from a technique standpoint, it's totally okay to kind of use that shape, primarily using our first finger and our pinky because we have these open strings, and then to kind of jump back to 4-fret span shape when we return to like our C shape, whether we're playing it open or fret. So you can see that as I do play my fretted C shape, I'm back at 4-fret span land. It's really just when I jump down to that F. Anywho, in our slow blues, following our 12-bar form, we have our C, we go to F, we return to C for a couple of bars, go back to F, back to C. Now we have arrived at our 5-chord G. And, you know, the thing with G is if we wanted to use open strings, we could. You know, for instance, we could go root, third, open D string would be our fifth. But I would say that for the sake of consistency and pattern, it's okay to use your fretted D string or your open D string. I think personally I enjoy using the fretted D. But again, I'm going to find that G lower, you know, so here's my 1 chord, my 4 chord is an F, a whole step up from there is my 5 chord, G, same as this, you know, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's our G, there's just the octave lower. So again, I'm kind of taking advantage of my lower notes here. So we have our G, again using that same pattern, root, third, fifth, sixth. In this case, our notes are going to be G, the B is going to be the third, D is the fifth, and then we have E as the sixth in relation to our G chord. Bounce down to the F, take advantage of those open strings, and then return to our C. Now, at the end of this chord progression, you know, if we're playing through our 12-bar form, we can kind of start at the beginning and work our way down. I'll kind of play through it for you. Root, go to our 4 chord, back to our 1. I'll play this forward pattern. Now I'm going to open string it. We'll go to our 4 chord. Back to a 1. Again, I like to mix it up and use both shapes. Now we have our 5 chord, our 4 chord. Now, 1, 4, 1, 5. Back to the 1. So the very end of this 12-bar form, again, is going to have like a little bit of variation to it. when we play a blues, whether it's like a slow blues or a shuffle or whatever, there are different endings to a 12-bar blues progression. You might stay on the one chord for just 2 bars. You might do a bar of 1 and a bar of 5. You might do a bar of 1 and push into a 5. And with a slow blues, it's very common to do 2 beats on the 1 chord, 2 beats on the 4 chord, return to the 1 for 2 beats, and then go up to the 5 for the final 2 beats of our 12-bar form. And again, we can either go up to our 4 and 5 or go down to our 4 and 5. And you can first get started just by playing root notes. Or you can get a little creative and kind of walk through them. So I went 1, 3, leads to my 4, 1, 5, back to the 1. So there we have it. That's basics of playing a slow blues in the key of C. Again, if you want to get tab, notation, backing tracks, all that good stuff, please head over to ryanmedora.com and check out the 12-bar blues survival pack. It'll teach you how to play different kinds of slow blues, shuffles, rumbas, all the good stuff. And if you feel like supporting, please check out my Patreon page or my TrueFire channel. There's tons of good goodies there. And, you know, it's all helping me make some more videos for you all. I'm so glad you're here. Subscribe to my channel. Happy practicing, everybody, and keep it groovy.